Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Me live at Holy Angel University Senior High School. So today we'll be joined by speakers from PSG Global Solutions and Stellar. So before we start, may we invite everybody for a short prayer followed by the national anthem. To officially open this session, may we invite Ms. Bennett Sedora to read the opening remarks from Prof. Lizabel Gamboa, Principal for Basic Education Department.
Hi, good morning po.
Good morning, Ms. Bennett.
Hi, good morning, ma'am. So I'll just read the opening remarks on behalf of Ma'am Lizabel Gamboa, no, our dear principal. So good morning, our dear grade 12 students. Welcome to the professional development workshop prepared for you by our Career and Placement Office. The additional years in your high school life, that is your senior high school years, are meant to prepare you for the following: academe to those who will pursue college, entrepreneurship for those who would like to start their own businesses, and for the workplace for those who would like to apply in different companies. As a K 12 program prepares you for this, let us also prepare you how you embark in your chosen field or career. You have to present yourself well in all circumstances that you will be in. Aside from the preparation of paperwork like resume, how to answer questions in an interview, the most important thing is work ethics. How will you compose yourself when under pressure? How you deal with your fellow workers? How will you treat your superior or those under supervision? At the end of the day, the most important thing people will always remember about you is how you executed your work without compromising your values, work ethics, and relationship with the people around you. We wish you all well as you prepare for a great future. Have a pleasant day. Laos Deo Semper.
All right, thank you for that, Miss Bennett. All right. So guys, can you hear me? I'm checking right now if we are running into technical difficulties. Can you please type yes if you can hear me on the comment section, please? If you can hear me and see me. Ayan. Let's just do a virtual check. Can you guys hear me? Can you type yes, guys? All right, so let's proceed. All right, so good morning, everybody. So, welcome to our session for this morning. Again, thank you for those who are commenting their names and their sections. No? So, thank you. So, tuloy-tuloy lang natin yan habang pumapasok yung mga classes ninyo. Okay? So, here is our schedule for this morning. So, our first topic is online application. Then, it will be followed by virtual interviews. Then, it will be followed by developing strong work ethic. So thank you for being here to everyone who's on time. So again, if you have questions for our speakers later, please comment it on our comment box on our chat on our comment section, and then we will address it later para sa speaker. So ipunin lang natin yung mga question natin. Okay? So let's go to our first topic. So our first speaker is Sir Robert Palomar. He graduated with 2 degrees from Ateneo de Manila University. That's AB Social Science and AB Interdisciplinary Studies. So he has previously worked in the Department of Education, CHED, and in an NGO. He last worked as an HR specialist prior to working with schools. So Sir Robert, if you're there, please join our stream.
Hello, good morning, Shari.
Yan. Sir, can we try running your screen po?
Sige, I'll be
Testing your
sharing
presentation.
my screen. Sige lang. I'm starting lang. How's this?
Sige sir, loading pa po. Ayan
Loading
sir.
pa.
Ayan sir. I can see it sir. So I leave the floor to you. So I have you will have 20 minutes and I'll be back po for the Q&A for our from our
Okay,
students. All right,
sure.
thanks sir.
Okay, thank you. See you later. So, good morning to everyone. I am Robert from jobs180.com and I'm here to talk about yung virtual applications nyo. So, anong pwede ninyong gamitin para sa inyong virtual application? We have this, what we call the resume link. So, kung titingnan nyo, hatiin nyo yung name, resume, and link. So, link
Pa-full
siya para
screen
sa
lang ako
online
sir.
resume nyo. Sorry?
Pa-full screen lang po ako.
Sige, sorry. Although sa
Thank you.
view ko, naka-full screen na siya.
Hindi pa
How's
sir.
your view? Hindi pa rin.
Kita ko pa po yung slides. Opo.
Sige. Let me try something else. I-full screen, share screen ko na lang from here. Sorry about that. Share ko na lang through my entire screen. So, kita mo ang screen ko since di gumana kanina. Now, I am sharing this. Yan. How's this?
Okay na sir. Good na po
Okay,
siya.
sige. Thanks, Harry. Sorry about that to
Thank you
everyone.
sir.
So, hopefully naka-full screen na to sa inyo. Again, I was talking about resume link. So, link siya para sa inyong resume. So, as you can see sa screen, it's a personalized URL for your resume. So, I'll be discussing this later. Pero important dyan, i-consider nyo yung term na personalized at URL siya. So, first, gawa tayo ng account. Gawa tayo ng sarili nating resume link. So, kailangan natin mag-register. So, saan ka magre-register? Punta ka dito, schools.jobs180.com/HAU or pwede rin kayo mag-register sa jobs180.com. So, makikita nyo naman sa taas, merong button doon na register. Click nyo lang yan at mapupunta tayo dito. There. So, hihingan tayo ng basic information. Dadaanan ko kung paano ko kayo matutulungan, fill in tong mga hinihinging information. Of course, yung mga name, kayo na bahala dyan, kayo lang nakakaalam niyan. Pero kung titingnan niyo yung screen, naka-underline yung resume link. Kasi ito yung una kong gustong i-discuss sa inyo. Yan. So kanina sinabi ko, take note na personalized URL siya. And that, kasi I made it a point to remind you about that. Kasi kayo ang mamimili ng inyong resume link name. So hindi siya randomly generated with ano ba, mga characters, big letter, small letter, numbers, I don't know. So it's up to you to choose your unique name. So, ano ang unique name nyo? Pinaka-safe is you use your name mismo. So, if you look at your screen, si Mr. John Santos, yan ang kanyang name. So, ginamit niya yon para sa kanyang resume link. Of course, siguro marunong na tayo kapag gumagawa ng account online. Kapag taken na, ang kailangan natin gawin ay maging mas creative ng konti. Halimbawa, si John Santos.jobs180.com, meron ng may-ari ng link na yon. So sa screen, nilagyan niya ng 01 o linagyan niya ng john_santos.jobs180.com. Take note, ang sinasabi kong be creative, ang creativity natin, ilimit natin dyan. At wag itong next na papakita ko sa inyo. Yan. John Santos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. I am sexy and hot. El Diablo, Boss Pogi. Yung mga yan, well, I guess pinili ng kung sino man gumawa niyan ng account na ganyan, hindi siya makakatulong sa pag-apply nyo ng trabaho, sa inyong virtual application. Hindi siya makakatulong. Ang gusto namin, kaya namin ginawa ang resume link ay para mag-stand out kayo. Bakit stand out? Isipin nyo, magpapasa kayo ng resume, usual nandun yung name, course o strand, and then, yun, basic info. Isipin nyo, lahat kayo pare-parehas na basic lang ang laman. Kaming HR, mahihirapan kami malaman kung sino ang gusto namin i-contact. So, kailangan nyo mag-stand out. But, stand out for the right reasons. Yung I am sexy and hot, yes, magsa-stand out nga kayo, pero not for the right reasons, hindi kayo kukontakin ni HR. Tung URL, makikita nila to, mababasa nila to. Isipin mo, click nila yung link, itatype nila yun sa browser, whatever, hindi makakatulong sa inyo na ang pangalan ng resume link nyo ay Boss Pogi. Okay? And sa pag-register, use a valid email. Yung mga nasa ilalim nyo ay valid email, sample of valid na email. At huwag nyo ipagpilit ng facebook.com ay valid email. So, there. Okay, so after that, don't forget to verify. I think na experience namin na merong mga part na gumagawa sila ng account pero hindi nila bine-verify sa email nila. So sayang yung opportunity kasi kapag verify yung account, kapag ganon, ma-retrieve niya yung password, makakakuha kayo ng mga updates. Yan. So don't forget to verify yung account. Pagka-register, fill in your details, verify. Yan, sunod-sunod niya na. So, let's complete the information. Nag-register na kayo, na-verify niyo na, tulungan ko na kayo ilagay ang information na dapat niyo ilagay. Again, log in naman. Kanina pinakita ko itong page na to para mag-register. Dito rin kayo magla-login, schools.jobs180.com/HAU or jobs180.com. Yan, may login sa taas. Now, let us complete your profile. So, ito yung screen na makikita nyo. Kapag gusto niyo i-complete ang profile, ito yung unang lalabas. Kung titingnan niyo dyan, ito ang personal info, contact info, kayo na ang nakakaalam niyan. Be sure lang, check yung typo ng mobile numbers kasi madalas ang top 2 na way para makontak kayo ni HR ay email at mobile number. So I think yung iba may typo sa mobile number, sayang naman. Iba hindi everyday nagche-check ng email, unlike sa phone, tapos kung may typo, yun, sayang. Okay, work options. Kung makikita nyo sa screen nyo, merong yes at no. So, click nyo yun, yes. Click nyo no. Kung willing to work night shift, nakalagay dyan yes. Ibig sabihin, kapag mag-search kayo sa job site namin sa jobs180.com, kapag nag-search kayo, may lalabas pa rin doon na night shift. Pag no yan, yung mga makikita nyong results sa inyong search ay wala nang night shift. Important to, gamitin nyo tong option na to kasi from my experience, nag-apply ako dati, na-interview na ako, and then doon pa lang, sa interview ko lang nalaman na night shift pala siya. Well, at that point, di ako willing mag-night shift. So, nasayang lang yung time ko, nasayang yung pamasahe ko, nasayang yung time ni HR. Yun. Kung titingnan nyo naman sa baba, merong work experiences. Reminder ko lang sa everyone, kasi yung iba lumalapit sa akin saying na isasama ba ang work experience kapag hindi directly related sa course o sa strand? Yes, sama niyo yan kasi what does it say about you? Sabihin natin na cashier, nag-volunteer sa, nag-cashier, nag-waiter or whatever. I don't know kung ano usually mga part-time na work. Ang masasabi natin doon, makikita ni HR na kaya mo ipagsabay ang work at studies mo. So sabihin natin di siya directly related sa course, sa strand, sa work na gusto mo sa future, doesn't matter. Ang makikita ni HR, responsible enough ka para umabot yung 6 months na whatever date na nilagay mo dyan na month at kaya mo siya ipagsabay with your other responsibilities. So one way for you to stand out yan. Next, education, yan, schools. Seminars, ito yung usually na ina-attendan, organized ng school or sometimes outside sa mga communities. Make sure lang na kapag dating sa seminar, unang-una piliin nyo na yung directly related sa inyo, but most importantly, alam nyo kung ano pinag-usapan. Again, ako, parati ko example yung sarili ko kasi naglagay ako ng seminar sa aking resume and then tinanong ako na nag-interview kung anong natutunan ko doon at wala akong nasagot na mabuti. Kung tama pagkaalala ko, ang sabi ko lang na it was interesting. I learned a lot. Pero kung tinanong ano yung I learned a lot, ano yung a lot na yun, wala akong nabigay. So, huwag kayo matulad sa akin doon. Next, certification. Parati namin sinasabi, iba to sa certificate. Certificate, siguro binibigyan kayo nun kapag nag-attend kayo ng seminar. Certifications, kailangan nyo ma-certify, usually through test. Usually, dapat may na-take kayo before. Kung titingnan nyo yung example dyan, yan, certified civil service professional eligibility. Yan, meron ako niyan that are required for government work mostly. Mga NC1, NC2, yan, those are certifications na lagay niya dyan. Achievements, usual sinasabi ng iba, pagdating kasi sa achievements sa school, ang unang pumapasok sa isip ay related sa grades, sa ACAD. So, tulad niya sa isang sample dyan, cum laude, iba DL, iba first honor, valedictorian, salutatorian, whatever. So, kung yun ang achievement mo, good job. Lagay niyan. Huwag niyo kalimutan, ilagay yan as an achievement. You should be proud of yourself for reaching that. But, yung iba, sabihin natin na hindi, grades hindi enough for achievements na yun, yung DL honors or what. Doesn't mean na wala na kayong malalagay dito. Tingnan nyo yung sa sample dyan. Student Leader of the Year, ibig sabihin active outside school sa mga organizations, yon, pwede nyo ilagay yon kung naging project manager kayo, kung naging school leader kayo ng club, nandyan. So, part yan ng achievements nyo. Pwede rin kayo lumabas outside school. Hindi lang related dapat sa school ang achievement. Sabihin natin na nagvo-volunteer kayo sa community, meron kayo, na-recognize kayo sa pag-work nyo outside school, sa community nga. Those are achievements na ilagay nyo. Okay, skills and languages. Sa skills, ang pinapaalala namin ay huwag nyo lang ilagay ang skills na directly related sa course o sa strand. Bakit? Sipin nyo, ang sample ko parate ay culinary student. Ang nilagay niyang skill ay cooking, 5 stars. So, anong magagawa nun para kay HR? Sabi ko kanina, we want you to stand out for the right reasons. Si HR, tiningnan ang inyong resume, sabi na ang skill mo ay cooking. Eh lahat na naman kayo nag-graduate sa culinary na course ay marunong magluto. So paano kayo magsa-stand out? So don't forget na ilagay yung other skills nyo. Tulad nito sa sample, Photoshop, videography. Anong masasabi nun about you? Baka kahit na ang course or strand mo hindi related sa photo, video, at least baka maisip nila na creative ka or you took time sa personal na time mo para matuto nitong mga skills na to. So it still says something about you sa HR. Ano ba usual? Mga public speaking, yan, social confidence, yan. So yun ang magandang example ng skills. Don't forget, hindi siya always directly related sa course or strand. Sa ilalim, makikita nyo languages, Filipino, English. I'm guessing marami sa maybe all na nanonood dyan ay pwede ilagay both dyan sa languages. Kung meron kayong other specific sa dialects or what, lagay niyo yon because that would be an advantage for you. Again, sample ko yung sarili ko when applying to NGOs. Meron lang ako, ang alam ko lang ay Tagalog. So kapag sa NGO na merong gusto sana malagay sa different na community. So, limited yung options ko. So, don't forget, lagay niyo sa inyo. References, ito ang kukontakin ni HR para tanungin kung kamusta ang performance niyo sa school or sa work. Wag na wag ilagay ang relatives and close friends na hindi mo naman naka-work anywhere. Ang samples ng references makikita niyo dyan, supervisor, advisor. Bakit ayaw namin na kinakontak ang relatives? Well, number one, alam namin na kung sasabihin lang nila ang alam nilang gusto namin malaman about you. Sasabihin nila, oh, he is hardworking, he is a good student, he is trustworthy. So, again, wala namang extra value sa amin yun. Also, gusto namin talaga naririnig ay from references tulad ng teachers and supervisor kung nag-part-time work ka nga. So, yun ang mga magiging okay na samples dyan. Siguraduhin nyo lang na naaalala kayo ng inyong mga ilalagay dyan na teachers, advisor, supervisor. Ayaw natin na kapag kinamusta namin ang performance nyo, kinontak namin ang reference mo, sasabihin nila sino yon or hindi ko siya naaalala, sorry. So, lapitan nyo, sabihin nyo pwede bang ilagay kayo. Kung kayo as reference, ibig sabihin nun, number one, sign of respect, hindi siya basta-basta tatawagan ng kung sino-sino. Number two, sigurado tayo maalala ka. Kasi yung iba, kilala ka by face, hindi lang alam name mo. Yung iba, naaalala name mo, hindi sure kung sino yung face yung sali dun sa name na yon. So, ma-update yung memory kapag na-remind niyo about that. Next, portfolio section. Ito ang isa sa mga main advantages ng resume link kasi pwede nyo attach ang images tulad nitong nandito sa sample na to and documents and links. Ano magiging advantage ng pag-attach nitong lahat? Number one, di nyo na kailangan mag-print ng sobrang dami. Number two, sabihin natin mag-a-apply kayo sa email or mag-send kayo online, hindi na outside our job site. Kapag ganon, hindi mo na kailangan mag-attach ng sobrang daming document. Isipin nyo to, nasa screen nyo, images, part ng portfolio. Ito usually hinihingi ni HR, NBI, PhilHealth, lalo na tong diploma at yung grades. Yan, usual niya na hinihingi. Kapag ganon, parating ina-attach one by one yung file. So, sayang yung oras. Minsan ako, nami-misplace ko yung file. Ay, nasa ibang computer. Ay, nasa ibang USB. Ay, nawala na. So, sayang yung time about that. Kung sinend mo lang yung link mo, clinic nila yung link, makikita na yung portfolio mo. Also, tulad nga, sabi, documents, lagay nyo dyan. Nakalagay yung document, sample of marketing plan. Yan, usually, pwede, yan yung mga samples ng documents na pwede ilagay. Links, ito ang magandang sample sa links. Tinatawag namin, pwede kayo mag-attach ng selfie video. Send kayo ng link sa video. Itong ginagawa nitong sample na nasa screen nyo, pinakilala niya ang sarili niya answering common interview questions. So, sinagot niya dyan, tell me something about yourself, why should we hire you? So, ang plus points niyan, si HR ay ma-visualize kung paano kayo, ang confidence nyo in front of the camera, speaking in English, yung summing up with a good answer doon sa common interview question. So, one more way for you to stand out. Next, profile photo, kasama to sa ilalagay nyo. Be sure to make it professional, tulad ng mga sample dyan. Hindi naman kailangan white background, basta wala yung mga kung ano-anong nakaka-distract sa likod, mga rainbows, butterflies, balloons, bubbles, hindi ko pa alam kung anong maisip nyo. And wag tulad nitong next na papakita ko. Ayan. So, it's not a social media account. Online siya, yes. But it's an online resume. Professional document siya, professional account, professional ang lahat ng nasa laman. So, wag iwasan nyo tong mga to. Sample dyan. Kung magka-crop man kayo ng picture nyo, siguraduhin nyo walang mga friend kamay sa likod mo. Also, magdamit ka man lang kapag ilalagay nyo yung picture mo na naka-crop. Kapag sabihin natin na hindi available ang mga tulad dito sa sample, coat and tie, polo, at the very least, magsuot kayo ng collared na shirt. Yun na yung minimum na hinihingi sa inyo. Kung kaya mag-polo and kung mas formal, good for you. Pag hindi readily available, at least kumuha kayo ng shirt na may collar. Next, cover photo. Yan. Cover photo, makikita to ni HR pagka-click ng link, pagka-enter sa browser. Yan, makikita agad kasi cover photo siya. Alam niyo naman kung ano yan. Nasa taas yan agad. Ang okay dyan ay isang tingin pa lang tell something na about you. Yun yung sample dyan. Alam na kung anong career yung gusto mo. Yung other sample, alam na siguro kung ikaw si HR, makikita mo na hardworking, multitasker, or what. Yun agad ang makikita. Sipin nyo, ma-associate agad kayo sa ganito. So, nakikita ni HR kung anong way mo of expressing yourself versus kung isipin nyo, papel lang siya, blankong papel na may letters lang. Yung usual standard na resume. So ito, isang tingin pa lang na kikilala na kayo somehow. Another good example ng cover photo, ito, usually kung tinatanong namin ni audience sa mga physical na career orientation namin, nag-agree naman lahat, more or less, siguro 90% ang sagot dito ay psychology, ang kanyang course. So, unang tingin pa lang, may idea na ako, pati yung audience. Ito naman, ang maganda dito is kung titingnan sa screen, merong place kung saan kayo pwede maglagay ng text. So, ginamit niya, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Yung text dyan, in-associate niya sa cover photo niya. So, sa cover photo niya, pinapakita na she is willing to take it one step at a time to work for her goals, goal-oriented person. Yun agad yung mga pumapasok sa isip ko. Isang tingin pa lang at isang basa sa kanyang text. Ito naman ang bad examples ng cover photo, yung mga pa-mysterious effect, nagpakita nga ng sarili niya, wala namang ulo, nagpakita nga ng cover photo, wala namang profile photo. Again, isipin nyo, lagay niyo sarili niyo sa shoes ng HR, pag-click niyo yung link, yan agad yung makikita niyo, hindi siya magandang reflection kasi hindi man lang nag-effort yung applicant na maglagay ng decent na photo. Also, yan, yung mga pa-mysterious effect. Completely walang info. So, anong value niyan para sa HR na binigyan mo ng resume link? Ito pa, one bad example, kasi kapag nakita ni HR anong may isip nila, ako mismo, una kong nakita tong picture nito from before, nisip ko na parang masyado siyang chill, hindi siniseryoso ang work. Sabihin natin siya ang taong siseryosohin naman ang work kung saan siya nag-a-apply, iba pa rin ang unang may isip mo kapag ito yung nakita mo. Okay? So, iwasan yung mga ganyang samples. Okay, dagdag ko lang sa resume link, may choices kayo sa Teams. Yan. Meron 3. I think, ito yata yung gamit ko. Or maybe this. Basta, isa dyan sa Teams ay ang pinili ko para sa sarili kong resume link. So, ito naman sa screen nyo, ang sample ng resume link na na-complete at ginamit lahat ng features. Kung titingnan nyo, attractive siya sa mata ng kung sino man titingin versus sa kung ang titingnan lang ay a sheet of paper with words na nakatype. Okay, next. Gusto lang namin i-add na merong way para maging mas secure to. Baka kasi yung ibang viewers nag-aalala na teka lang, online siya, pag-click ng link, baka merong mga makita na ayaw ko naman i-share kasi nakita ko yung mga required field kanina, kailangan ko sagutin to. So, okay, ginawa namin ng way, may settings, and then privacy settings, and then makita nyo sa screen nyo, may on at off. So, up to you. Up to you kung anong gusto mo i-share. Off nyo, halimbawa, yung home number, ayaw nyo i-share, sige, off nyo yan. But, ang okay dito, it's real-time update. Kapag nagbago ang isip mo, halimbawa, ngayon, nakashare ang home number mo. Bukas, teka lang, off ko na kaya ito. Maraming naabala pagdating sa pagtatawag ng mga tao. So, decide ako, off ko, save. Pag next time na makita ang resume link nyo, hindi na siya makikita. Advantage yan over kung traditional resume, binigay mo hard copy, binigay mo PDF, touch move na, hawak na ni HR, wala kang mababawi. Okay, reminders lang, make it interesting, attractive, so complete details, significant information updated, mamaya, babalikan pa yung updated information. Pero for now, tuturuan ko kayo kung paano mag-submit. Isipin nyo, meron na kayong resume link, kompleto ng info, ready na para ipasa sa HR. Itong sa screen nyo, ang mga options, send a resume link. By sending, pwede nyo i-send yung link mismo. Submit using our job site, print, or resume link in device. Okay, again, reminder lang kung paano kayo mag-login. Yan, nasa screen nyo. Huwag nyo kalimutan na magla-login kayo. So, itong sample na to ay ang para sa gamit ng job site namin. Pero, sorry, balikan ko lang na ang nakalagay dito ay pwede kayo mag-send. What I mean by this is pwede nyo i-send ang link nyo kahit kanino. Yung link nyo, hindi kailangan na ang company ay naka-register sa jobs180.com. Kahit sino naman sa atin, pwede mag-click ng link, pwede mag-enter sa browser. So, pwede siyang ma-share na kahit na sino, madali siyang mapasa. Hindi mo kailangan bit-bit ang USB mo, kailangan mo attach bigla-bigla. Kung alam mo lang link mo, pasa mo. Yan, send mo siya. Okay, so tulad ng sabi ko kanina, ito naman ay through our job site. Search lang kayo, search bar, may makikita kayong mga jobs, apply lang kayo. May buttons dyan para dumalin ang buhay nyo. Submit resume, yung resume link nyo ay mapapasa na papunta doon. Okay, ay ito pala yung na-mention ko kanina. Sorry about that. Yan, send nyo lang yung link. Hindi nyo na kailangan mag-attach ng document. Bakit? Kasi nasa portfolio section nyo na. Again, dahil nasa portfolio section nyo na lahat ng relevant na document, images, hindi nyo na problemahin na mag-attach ng sobrang daming file. Magkamali ng attachment, yan nangyari na sa akin yung mali in-attach ko, and ma-misplace yung attachment. Again, ako pa, na misplace ko na yung attachment, nasa ibang USB, nasa naiwan sa somewhere, school, and then, wala, hindi ko mapasa. Maghihintay pa ako hanggang bukas. Unlike kung ito, ready na yung link, ready, go, pasa nyo na. Okay, yung iba naman nagsasabi, gusto pa rin nila ng printed copy. So, okay, pwede naman yun. Pinagdali na namin actually ang buhay nyo. Yan. So, punta kayo sa account nyo. Meron doon sa upper right side na print. Pipindutin nyo lang at may PDF na kayo na pwede nyo i-print. Tapos, automatic na maayos yung layout ng inyong document. So, in devices or cards, nandito sa screen nyo, tinatawag namin resume link card. Useful to mostly sa mga physical na job fair, although pwede nyo rin naman magamit siya elsewhere. Kasi ang nakalagay dyan ay basic info, bahala kayo kung anong info gusto nyo ilagay. Siya, ang pinili niyang lagay ay name, address, number, email, at yung resume link niya. Yung iba, name at resume link na, pwede na yon, yes. Dahil makikita na ang inyong resume. Yeah. So, recap lang tayo, key advantages, privacy, kasi nga, you can choose the information you want to share, may on at off na settings, kung gusto mo lahat, merong main switch na turn off sa public settings, and advantage is real-time update, kung magbago isip mo sa kung anong gusto mo i-share bukas, off mo lang, save. Speed of hiring, matutulungan kayo na mag-stand out, mapapabilis ang pag-deal nyo with HR, wala namang back and forth pagdating sa attachment, agad-agad may idea na sila about you, alam na nila kung gusto talaga nila kayo. So, speed of hiring, maayos yan. Flexibility, online, sang print, click link, type sa browser, but also flexible enough na pwede nyo ma-print. Again, save PDF, sang pindot lang, nandun na. Cost efficiency, ito nandito yung pagdating sa pag-print ng maraming attachment, yung mga required na diploma, transcript of records. Tapos yung sample ko kanina na resume link card, kung gusto nyo may bit-bit kayong ganun versus na may bit-bit kayo, sobrang daming pages ng inyong resume. Benefits, well, sobrang dali niya i-share, sobrang dali i-share ng info na gusto mo i-share. Nandyan yan sa resume link mo. Link siya, pwede bigay, click, enter yon. Benefits, no need for USB or hard drive. Yun tulad ng sinasabi ko, nakaka-misplace, wala na. No need to save in MS Word and have multiple copies. Ako, guilty ako sa resume final, resume final edited, resume final edited version 1, resume final edited version 2, final. So, ang dami ng final, di mo na alam kailan siya talaga naging final. Okay, questions. Can I give my resume link to companies who do not know jobs180.com? Yes, tulad ng sabi ko, hindi naman kasi kailangan naka-register. Naka-register ay yun lang, kailangan nasa jobs180.com site. Doon lang kayo, kailangan registered ang company kung doon kayo mag apply. Yung submit resume link doon mabibigay yung resume link through that button. Pero otherwise, it's a link, company, tanong nila ano to, it's a link to my resume. Okay, click, nandun na. Two, is it the same as itong other job sites? Just sa screen nyo. I would say may similarities. Ang main similarity lang ay job site, enter nyo yung job na hinahanap mo, makaka-apply kayo. Ang difference is that pagdating sa application, yung resume link, yung makikita. So again, can be updated, change real time. Yun main advantage kasi sa other job sites, pag napasa, makukuha nila yung resume mo, wala, touch mo, sorry, kung may gusto kayo baguhin, wala na. So unlike nga kung meron kayong resume link na option. Also, kasi resume link, again, di nga kailangan dun siya sa sa company na registered sa jobs180.com. Yung iba, kailangan meron silang registration dot. Three, information security. Sana naman na make clear ko na kung bakit important siya maging secure. Last, how often should I update? Yan. Kanina may slide kanina about updating. Sabi ko, babalikan ko. Now's the time for me to do that. Update it every time may information na magbago. Yung iba sinasuggest every month, every few weeks, every year. Ano ang papalitan mo kung wala ka namang kailangan update? So, kailangan mo i-change every time may relevant information na magbago. For example, ang mobile number. Yan, very important kasi, halimbawa si HR ay hawak ang inyong resume link and then, nabago yung number mo, nabago, si HR hindi ka immediately na-hire dahil for now, hindi ka match sa hinahanap nila. Sabihin natin next month may nakita siyang may bagong opening, bagay ka, gusto ka contact kasi nasa kanila resume link mo pero hindi mo in-update yung number. Sorry, wala yung opportunity. So that's a good example kung bakit important na ma-update ang resume link. So there, that's it for my talk. You use your resume link para sa inyong virtual application. Mapapadali ang inyong virtual application dahil magsa-stand out kayo, very easy to use, makikita agad ni HR kung ano ang way mo gusto i-present ang inyong sarili. So that's it. So like us on Facebook, facebook.jobs180.com/jobs180. Yang mga nasa screen nyo, kung may questions kayo for me na hindi ko ma-address yung Q&A, or kung may gusto kayo tanong na anything, message nyo lang kami here. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that, Sir Robert. Alright guys, the floor is open for questions. Meron po bang tanong from our audience? So while you guys think about your questions, Sir Robert, may inipon po akong question dito. Sir, tanong
Sure.
ko lang po, okay lang po ba gamitin yung school na email address sa registration
Ayan.
po for resume link?
That's a very good question. We do not recommend na gamitin ang school email kasi I understand sa ibang school, may sarili silang email for the students. Huwag pong gamitin yun. Use your personal email kasi after graduate sa school, yung iba wala na access sa school email nila. Yung iba, I guess may access, pero bihira naman nilang gamitin. So use your personal email dahil yun yung chinecheck nyo parate at magagamit nyo pa rin siya after nyo graduate.
Alright, thank you for that, sir. Next question, sir. Madalas po kasi madami nakakalimutan mag-verify ng account. So, ano po mangyayari, sir, kung hindi nila, meron po bang limitation yung account nila kung hindi nila ma-verify?
Well, yung number one, yung sabi ko kanina sa slides, mahirapan nga silang kapag nawala yung password nila, of course, nandyan yan. And then, yung number two, yung mga important na news from Jobs180, minsan kasi sinesend sa email, baka kung hindi verified, hindi nila makuha. And also, yeah, may limitation pagdating sa applications na, if I'm not mistaken, paano hindi mo... Yes. So, pagdating sa site mismo,
Siya
I'm talking about hindi ka makakasubmit ng resume link. Yes.
All right. So thank you for that, Sir Robert. Guys,
Thank you.
if we have questions, wala ba? Sure na kayo? All right. So guys, don't be shy, ha. So for our next speakers, you can put in your questions for them, and we will try to address it after the talk. All right. So thank you for that, Sir Robert.
Thank
Hope to see
you.
you again po in the next. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
All right.
Bye.
So first topic done. So for our second topic, we will be discussing virtual interviews. Ayan. So this topic will be presented by Mr. Paulo de la Cuesta, Manager for Internal Recruiting of PSG Global Solutions. Ayan. So let's introduce Sir Paulo. So Sir Paulo has more than 17 years of experience in recruitment, sourcing, and human resources. He manages the internal recruitment team and is in charge of technology and process enhancements to increase productivity and efficiency for PSG Global Solutions. So, Sir Paulo, if you're there na po, can we try sharing your screen?
Sure. Let's go
Good
ahead.
morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, our audience are from Holy Angel University. So there's a bunch of them watching in our Facebook page. And it's a mixer of different strands po. Mostly grade 12 ayan, sir. So can we test your screen lang, sir, so we know if it's working?
Okay, just my
Yes, sir.
screen.
I can see it. Yes, sir. It's
Okay.
live na po. So you have 20 minutes. I will be back po for the Q&A. Thank you, sir.
All right. So thank you very much. So good morning. Welcome everyone. Very very happy to be here. So let's see. Whoops, just on the side. So first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for bringing me here today and giving me this opportunity to speak to all of you. I know it is a bit of a strange time where we have to adjust to doing everything virtually. Uh, Personally, this is my first time to do a talk virtually. I'm kind of used to pacing around on stage, but I guess we all have to adjust. And part of that is preparing for a virtual interview. All right, let's see. Okay. So, first of all, what do you want to do when you want to apply for a job? So, the first thing is to determine what kind of job you are looking for. So, I like to think of it with the end in mind. So, where do I want to be 5, 10 years from now? So, I plan ahead, and then I look at my career and determine different points where I want to be in across that time. So, first off, since a lot of you are fresh graduates, try to decide what is it you want to be. And this is very very important because I think the first job that you have is very very critical and will determine a lot of how your career and how you view working as a whole. So you want to put together a list of things that you want from a job. You want to put together a list of things that you don't want in a job. So what are your non-negotiables? What do you want from a job in terms of what work type, in terms of skills that you're going to develop, in terms of even basic things like location and salary. What are your non-negotiables in terms for what you're looking for? What are things that you don't want to do? Are you okay with traveling? Are you okay with working on a night shift?
Sir,
Those are other things that you have to determine as well. Yes.
sir, excuse me, sir. Sir, we lost your screen po.
Hmm. Really?
Can we try sharing again, sir?
Okay. Let me just try that again. Okay, can you see it now? Is it working now?
Yes, sir. It's back. But we need to see the presentation. Yan, sir. Okay na po. Pa-full screen
Okay.
lang po.
All
You just
right.
need it
So
to be
like
full screen.
okay. So, like I said,
Yeah.
first time for me to present. Okay. So there. So come up with your list of non-negotiables, and when you are applying online, such as on Jobs 180, that's what you want to look for when you are screening jobs. So just like recruiters screen your resume when you apply, you want to screen the jobs that you're applying for, and their job descriptions are there. You can determine if these are the things that you want, these are the things that you don't want. You can determine there, at least on the onset, if this job is right for you when you're applying. So once you've found a job that you like that seems in line with what you're looking for, read up on the company and on the specific job description for that role. So is this a new company? Is it a large company? A lot of these will. A lot of these things are available online. You can go to their website. You can do a Google search on the company itself, see what other people have to say about the company. You want to know as much about the company as you can before you enter a job. So it's I like to think of it as when you're shopping on Lazada, like if there's a job, there's a description of the thing that you want to buy, but then you read on the comments and then you can see if people are happy or not. So you can get a bit of back information before you enter the role. So this seems kind of strange, studying your own resume, and I think this is especially important for a lot of people who already have experience. It seems weird, reading your own resume. I mean, you wrote it, right? But you'd be surprised how many people, when you interview them, they aren't as familiar with the things that they put on the resume. Maybe they prepared it a long time ago. Maybe they're not used to doing interviews. But you want to read up so that, especially when we're looking at the dates, the different jobs that you worked at, you want to be across that as well when you are being interviewed. And lastly, prepare any questions you might have. So this ties back into into the kind of job you're looking for. So if the job description isn't clear, if there are things you want to know, be sure to have those questions and don't be shy about asking them. There are very few people who ask questions at the end of interviews. I've always found that strange. It's like you're jumping into a pool and you don't know how deep it is. So you want to be sure and learn as much before you take on that new role. Dress up. Okay. So be in business casual. So even if we're attending virtual interviews, even if we're working from home, there's a tendency to slack off in terms of dressing up. Uh, and the way that you dress during these interviews will also reflect how your prospective hiring manager will be looking at you. So you want to, put your best foot forward. Be in business casual. So business, what's business casual? Um, just be in a crisp shirt. For guys, kind of like me right now, you don't have to wear a tie, but you can if you want to. And so at least make sure that your top is business casual. You can wear a coat if you want, but just think of it as what would you wear if the interview was in person, and that's what you wear to your virtual interview. So next, think about your background. So what I like to do is I like to use a virtual background, sometimes because there's a lot of clutter in your house and you don't want people walking behind you, like your mom telling you that it's time to eat lunch or things like that. You don't want all those distractions at the back because they will distract your interviewer as well. So if you don't have a room of your own, or you don't have a location where you can take the interview where you wouldn't have as many distractions, or if you don't feel that your background is nice enough, you can use a virtual background. And what I normally do is I download an empty office picture, and that's what I use my virtual background. All right. Next, technology. So this is very, very important. Internet connection. Just like for virtual interviews, a lot of jobs are working from home as well. So an internet connection is very, very important. All right. So investing in a good internet connection can mean, can mean the difference between, being able to have a career and not, especially in these times when a lot of us are working from home, or partly in the office and partly at home. You want to have a good internet connection. So at least 10 Mbps. Make sure your provider is stable. If you're not sure what's a good internet connection, ask your neighbors. I know internet is a big issue across the Philippines, but we do the best that we can, and part of that is doing research into what is a good internet provider in your area, what goes down the least. Power, well, we don't have much control over that, but you can at least make sure that you have a power bank for your laptop, or your laptop if your laptop's charged, or if even if you're using your phone, just make sure that whatever device you're taking the virtual interview on, it will have power, if in case there would be some sort of disruption. And most important, back up everything. So for internet connection, if you can have more than one internet connection, I know it sounds like a big investment, but this is really something I cannot stress enough. Make sure you have a backup for your internet or your power, just in case they go down. They are unpredictable as it is. So if you're having a backup, just in case your internet goes down during the interview, you can switch to your other router and be present, and you won't have to text your interviewer about, oh, can I just get on a call when my internet comes back up, because that of course will also be the impression that you make with your interviewer, that this guy is prepared. Okay, his internet went down, but he already had a backup. He was ready. It makes having a good internet connection, and being able to back that up just in case anything goes wrong, is part of making a good impression during your interview. All right, be yourself. Okay, so yeah, I know it looks like a inspirational Facebook post, but I think this is the most important message I can have for anyone who is applying for a job. Now, as a recruiter, I've always felt that it is my duty as a recruiter, to find the best jobs for people where they can be successful, even more than it is for me to recruit for the company that I'm working for. So and it's important that people are a good fit for the role that they're joining, that they will be successful and happy there. And that goes the other way too. As an applicant, you want to work someplace where you will be happy. And what does it mean to be yourself? Is that you don't oversell yourself during the interview. Uh, you don't embellish anything. You don't. Most importantly, you don't lie about any skills or any previous employments you might have. What you want to do is be honest in presenting yourself to an interviewer. Yes, you want to make a good impression. Yes, you want. Yes, you want to put your best foot forward, but you want a role that really fits you, because that's where you'll be successful. If you oversell yourself and you get a role which you're not really ready for, you're not really ready to do, um, it then you'll just lead to unhappiness for you and unhappiness for the company that is recruiting you. So you want to be able to be as honest with them, and if you don't fit their requirements, if they don't see in you what they're looking for, then maybe it is for the best that you don't take that job. Every recruiter is always looking at you, seeing if you are the best fit for the role. So trust them if they don't think that you are. Okay, because it usually means that you're not ready to take on this role now. Maybe there's something else for you, and in any case, there are a lot of other jobs that you can apply for. Be persistent. So what does it mean to be persistent? So if you don't get the first job interview that you had, that's okay. just keep applying, and be consistent in updating your resume. Don't worry about failing interviews. I know it can be discouraging. I've failed, a lot of interviews in my time as well. I've gone through so many job applications as well. Not all, and like I said, some of them are not right for you, uh, and sometimes you know you don't get exactly what you wanted, but maybe it is because it's not really what you're ready for at the time. So don't quit, just continue applying, and continue and constantly be prepared to attend a lot of interviews. All right, so that is it for me. I know it was a bit short, but I'd really prefer to see any questions from you guys. So if you have any questions, just feel free to type them in the chat. I'll be here to answer your questions for the next Q&A portion. Uh, and also, if you wish to apply at PSG, well, we have the link underneath. I think that's scrolling down there that you can to the jobs 180 opening. So you can just send your resume there.
Thank you, Sir Paulo. All right, guys, so habang nag-iisip kayo ng tanong, so I will ask Sir Paulo the questions that I've written down while he's doing his presentation. So, sir,
Sure, sure.
I'm sure they'd like to know, yung audience po natin, they'd like to know, ano po ba yung mga common mistakes na nangyayari for first-time job seekers? Na baka
Well,
pwede niyo po silang
I,
i-warn or pwede niyo po silang i-alert na madaming nakakagawa ng mistake na yun.
Well, I think going back to being yourself, I think that's one thing that a lot of candidates, they're very eager, and I appreciate that eagerness when you enter when you're applying for a job. You say yes to everything. Is like especially when I get this from fresh graduates. So, and I was the same way as well. When I graduated, when I got my diploma around March 2003. I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna take a summer vacation. No, my mom just put it down newspaper in front of me, had all the open job circled, and said, we got to start applying now. So it's a lot of pressure for my mom to look for a job then. So every job application I went to, it's always yes, I can do it. Yes, I can. I'm okay to work on a night shift. I'm okay to do this and that, and that led to my first job. Uh, Actually, the first interview that I took, I was able to get my first job as well. But um, later on, I realized that job wasn't a good fit for me, and I ended up working in recruitment about a few months later. So what you want to do is, like I said, when you go to an app, when you go to a job, when you apply for a job, ask questions and see if that job fits you. So it's not just that you force yourself to fit in the job, but see if that is really what you're looking for, is something that you'll be happy, because you don't want to be walking away from your first job so soon just because you weren't happy and you took on something which you really weren't really ready for or you were happy with.
All
So
right, so
don't
thank you for
shortchange
that.
yourself. Yes.
Sir, next question. Sir, we have since our audience is from senior high this morning, we'd like to ask if PSG Global is accepting applications from grade 12 graduates.
For senior high school graduates, we're usually looking for people who have a bit of experience after grad. So we're not looking at senior high school graduates at this time. We're looking for at least people with at least 6 months to a year of experience from senior high school before joining PSG. But that is based on
Or
the profiles we're looking at now. So we are constantly getting new clients, that we are constantly getting new clients. So there are a lot of new opportunities with us that you can perhaps take a look at. Very very sorry. That's what I'm saying. Be prepared because my cats are in here. Sorry about
All
that.
right, sir. Sir, last question. I think, guys, if you have questions, please keep them coming. But my last question for Sir Pao is, sir, what qualities do you look for in applicants that would merit a second interview?
Hmm. Well, just a moment. All right. What would let's see. I think someone who is genuinely enthusiastic. You know that will get you very far. Uh, the eagerness to work, that will that is something that every recruiter looks for in each applicant that they interview. Skills can always be taught. That's what I believe, especially for fresh graduates. We don't expect a lot from fresh graduates. I mean, in terms of knowing skills that uh, knowing skills that would be useful in the workforce. We're here to teach you, and especially here at PSG, we invest a lot in training, so those things can be taught. But what you need to bring to your interview is that eagerness to work, to take on challenging roles within, of course, the parameters of what you're looking for a job. So whenever, like for example, I interview a recruiter, the first thing I always ask is, why do you want to be a recruiter? Why? What is the reason you want to take on this role? So that is a very important question for me. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, I just want to learn something new. I want to increase my skills," and those are great answers. But what I'm really looking for is someone who understands what that role does. So when I interview people for a recruiting role, I'm looking for people who talk about their passion for giving jobs to people, talk about their passion for building an organization by hiring the best people. That's the kind of person that I want to hire, someone who is really passionate for the role and not just taking on a job because it's there, because it's an opening is there.
All right. Sir, we have a question that just came in from Francesca Lewis. Tips po on how to be confident without sounding too arrogant during job interviews?
Okay. Yeah, that is uh people think that a lot it's what you say that makes impression, but a lot of it is nonverbal cues. So I think your expression is a big factor. Even the way you sit is a big factor during an interview. Um, so just relax and don't come in too cocky. uh, like think about how you think what an arrogant person is. Like think of your most arrogant, annoying classmate, and think about them, and don't be them. Okay, when you talk, when you introduce yourself, don't be like that guy. I mean, we all know who's arrogant, so don't. I think that's the best thing that you can do. Like I said, if you are just on honesty rather than overselling yourself, that is also a big factor as well. Be honest about the skills, because you're not. It's not that you're being arrogant. You're just sharing what you can and can't do, and you can't go wrong with that, right? Arrogance, like you said, is very subjective. So you don't know what will tick a recruiter off. But to be honest, especially for experienced recruiters, like I've been doing this for 18 years. I've interviewed a lot of people. I think well into the thousands. I've met a number of arrogant people as well, especially in other industries I've interviewed for. And don't be too afraid of sounding too arrogant. That's Don't be too worried about that. like I said, be more conscious of presenting the skills that you do have to make sure you are a right fit for the role that you're applying for.
All right. So, sir, last question. What's the
Yes, yes,
best
very happy.
response to salary expectations?
Okay, if
If you're
you're a fresh
confident when you answer this.
okay, so usually fresh graduates are intimidated and feel like they would answer, you know, since they don't have any experience, if they've ever had a job before, they would just take whatever. But what I want to step back from that, and this is a question actually that came up, I think in an HR forum which I was reading up on in Facebook, is that you know. Think about what your needs are. What would be what do you have to do? Well, like what do you need this money for? Do you are you just going to be supporting yourself? You know, a lot of candidates that I interview, sometimes they're supporting their parents, they're supporting their brother and sister, things like that. So, yes, it's you don't really have much choice in terms of your salary expectation. Usually, there is for every role there is a base salary that they offer for fresh graduates. Um, but for for especially for experienced candidates, don't be afraid to say no to a job because you don't think the salary is enough to support you. Okay, yeah, there is a working your way up, but if you are put in a situation where is, I would say, untenable, when you really when you take on a job that isn't able to serve your needs or provide you with the compensation that you need to support yourself and your family, the only thing that will happen is you'll just end up going for another job when you find something uh, that is offering more. So you don't want to do that. So be reasonable, I think, in terms of your expectations, but once again, don't sell yourself short.
All right. So thank you for that, Sir Pao. We learned so much in this session, po. So we hope to see you again
I,
in the next few
I
sessions, sir.
really hope you did.
All right. So that's it. So thank you, Sir Pao, for being with us this morning. If you guys have no more questions, please check out the list. It's jobs180.com/PSG Global Solutions, and you can apply to that page and send in your questions, comments for our Q&A later. If nahihiya kayo ngayon, pwede naman mamaya, address pa rin natin siya. Okay? So thank you again, Sir Pao, for your time. It's been great to have you po on this stream.
Thank you, Sherry, and thank you, everyone. I hope you were able to learn something from me.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day po.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
Bye, sir. All right. So for our next topic, we will be discussing developing strong work ethics. So this one is will be presented by another Paulo, Sir Ray Paulo Patricio, Operations Manager for Stellar Philippines. He was the Center of Excellence Champion for 2019, and he is an open book management practitioner, an entrepreneur, and a speaker as well. So, Sir Paulo, if you're there, can you please join our stream?
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning, sir. Can we try testing sharing your screen, sir, so
Sure.
we can know if there will be any errors. Ayan.
All right.
Alright.
Can you see it?
So, sir, our audience for today are senior high school students from Holy Angel University in Pampanga. So they're a mix of different strands. So
Mhm.
madami po sila nanonood sa atin ngayon. So the floor is yours, sir. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'll be back,
All
sir,
right.
in 20 minutes. See you po sa Q&A.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, ladies and gents, thank you so much for having me. Let me begin this session by dropping a reality check. Real talk, right? Next slide, then. So, okay, you don't get what you wish for. Okay. You get what you work for. Now, you might argue, no? Paano yung prinsipe ng Brunei? Yung anak ni Elon Musk, yung mga nanalo sa loto, right? Point taken. But most people don't have that luxury. Most people have to work for that luxury. Kahit yung pangtaya mo sa loto, kailangan mo pagtrabahuhan, di ba? So you get what you work for. And guys, how you work for it matters. If you have a strong work ethic, you're already steps ahead of other people, and maybe even ahead of people who've been working in the industry for years. Um, and Sir Paulo de la Cuesta actually mentioned that they're looking for eagerness and enthusiasm. So it's the right attitude towards work. The things I'll talk about today applies to those who will be employed, to those who will be business owners, business partners, freelancers, and even employers. So I hope you can pick a few useful things from my talk. Next slide. Okay. So first, let's define work ethics. So work ethic it's basically a set of values based on the ideals of discipline and hard work. This means that an employee or someone with a strong work ethic they're intrinsically motivated. So their drive comes from within, internal siya. A strong work ethic reflects someone's desire and determination to work hard and meet their goals. There are other contributors to a person's success though, but a strong work ethic and the right attitude is one of the most important components of being successful. Next slide. Okay. So this is a triangle of success. This triangle represents three ingredients in success, where knowledge is practical information. So it's gained usually through learning, experience, association. Under that is job knowledge and industry knowledge. So that means basics, theories, you have facts, figures, descriptions. You have learning sources, that also includes knowledge on process and procedures. Um, it is also a prerequisite for learning skills. Before you can gain a skill, kailangan alam mo muna yung ginagawa mo, right? Skills, on the other hand, refer to the ability to perform the actual tasks. So this includes technical knowledge, like using gadgets, tools, computers, for example. There's also people management skills and communication skills, which determines your level of skill around connecting to people and managing them. Analytical is more around painting a picture using data, facts, trends, and numbers. And the third element, the one that I want to focus on, is attitude and work ethics. This involves how people react to certain situations and how they behave in general. Attitude and a strong work ethic is actually the key, more important than the previous two. Bakit? Bakit? It's because attitude equals desire. Anyone can have the knowledge and skill necessary to accomplish great things. But if no personal desire exists to drive that behavior and performance, then the end result will just be unrealized potential. So conversely, may mga kilala din tayo na mga tao who also lack skill and knowledge, but their attitude and their desire, it serves them, even drives them, and they methodically overcome their obstacles. So for them, yes, I don't have skill, I don't have enough knowledge, but my desire is a great equalizer, right? In any field or actually any aspect of life, to find level of success, you need knowledge, skill, and attitude. But without the work ethic, the skills and knowledge aren't as valuable. So on to the question. How do we develop a strong work ethic? So I have 5 tips around this. They're not the only way to develop a strong work ethic, but this has worked for me personally and a lot of other people. Okay, so first one, next slide then. All right, so big red text, failure. Something we all innately fear, but you have to change your mindset around failure because you will fail, not just once, not just twice, and it will be tough. But you can always take something good out of failure, and that is learning. Even if you lose and fail, it's not a complete loss if you learn from experience. You apply what you learned and try not to make the same mistake again. Diba? Next slide. All right. So the most successful people that you'll see today have failed hundreds, if not thousands of times. Um, Failure is not always equal to defeat because, as you can see in the picture, you can actually use your failures as stepping stones to be successful. A good example would be an athlete that I know. So baka kilala nyo rin siya, NBA player. He has missed a little less than 10,000 shots in his career. He has lost almost 300 games, and he was trusted with the winning shot 26 times, and sumablay siya. But he is recognized as one of the greatest players of NBA. Si Michael Jordan, ito yung LeBron James ng time namin. You also have Oprah Winfrey, who was fired from her first reporting job at 23 years old. She is now one of the most influential women in the world. You have Vera Wang, who failed to make the Olympic figure skating team. She also failed to get the editor-in-chief position at Vogue magazine. And she designed her first dress at the age of 40. But now she is known all over the world for her designs. And she has been awarded the Council of Fashion Designers of America a Lifetime Achievement in 2013. And these people have learned from their failures. No? So learn from yours and use that to climb the ladder. Next slide. On to the next step. Focus. Establish a goal. Establish your why. Write it down so you don't forget it. Why do you work? What exactly are you looking to achieve over a 6-month period, a year, 5 years? Okay. And focus your energy there because energy flows where attention goes. Okay. Let's keep this simple. Let's do a quick demo. No? Sit a bit further back from your computer screen and put your thumb up. Put your thumb up. I want you to focus your attention on your thumb, right? Look at your thumb, and you'll notice that the screen behind your thumb is now blurred, di ba? Hindi masyadong kita. Now, focus your attention on the screen. You can see it clearly, except syempre may nakaharang na maliit, but majority you can see it, right? That's how focus works. Your thumb represents all the distractions. Your screen represents your goal. So, focus. Okay? In distractions yan can include many things. It can include games, social media, anything that's too much is not always good. So be very conscious sa mga distractions sa paligid niyo. And again, always write down your goals so you can focus on them. Okay? All right. Next step. Next slide then. All right. Avoid victim mentality. Now, before I start talking about this, I don't have anything against victims of crime and extenuating circumstances, of course. It's staying in a victimized mindset that I want you to avoid. Okay? So the victim mentality kasi is very prevalent sa culture natin. You watch news, diba? You go to social media, you watch soap operas. Soap operas. There are a lot of examples where people just choose to relinquish their power and control of the situation just to gain sympathy and to be the right one, to look good, when they can actually do something about the situation. Example, you can lose your job, right? And you can blame your direct managers for not teaching you the ropes, diba? You can cheat on your jowa, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, diba? Yeah, but you can blame them for not having enough time, diba? You can turn to bad things, to crime, and blame people around you for not doing anything to help you financially. You can let your circumstances define you. Or you can have what we call a can-do mindset. Okay, next slide. Okay, all right. So, a victim mentality will have a person make excuses. Bakit hindi niya nagawa? Okay? They will be focused on scarcity, kung ano yung mga kulang. They will shift accountability from themselves and put blame on others. Biktima sila eh. They will focus on limitations. Ano yung mga hindi ko kayang gawin? Defeatist, kasi nga biktima ka, talo ka lagi. And they're envious when they see other people climb the ladder. Whereas someone who has a can-do attitude will seek for solutions instead of make excuses. They will be focused on kung ano yung mga pwedeng mangyari instead of kung ano yung mga kulang. They will take responsibility for the things under their control instead of just focusing on blame on other people. They will be focused on potential. They will have an optimist and visionary mindset. Okay, they want to win, not necessarily focus on their losses. And they will be pleased to see others succeed. Okay, now in that respect, a victim mentality will give you reasons for not accomplishing something, whereas having a can-do attitude will get you results. Okay, and at the end of the day, ang gusto mo will be good results. Okay, All right. And then the next slide. Okay. Next step, intellectual humility. Okay. It's understanding the limit of one's knowledge, and it's a state of openness to new ideas, willingness to be receptive to new sources of evidence, information. In summary, just sit down and be humble, diba? Because this will enable you to learn and grow. No matter how good you are at your craft, no matter how high your grades are, you have to accept that you won't always be right. That means someone out there has better methods, better ideas. And instead of closing your doors to that learning, I encourage you to embrace new perspectives and actually learn from them. But then, you also don't want to be gullible, diba? Kasi for sure, after a few conversations, hindi mo na alam kung sino paniniwalaan mo. You also don't want to be stubborn and stick to your guns all the time. Let me tell you a quick story. Mga batang 90s, alam to Nokia Corporation. So they are a Finnish multinational telecommunications company. They also have departments in IT, and they have consumer electronics. Diba? They were founded in 1865. And back in the 90s and early 2000s, they dominated the mobile phone market. Okay. Their specialty, because they had brilliant engineers, was actually hardware. So yung mga phones nila, kahit itapon mo yan, bumagsak yan sa lupa, okay pa rin. Um, Yun yung specialty nila. Sturdy phones. Okay? Sturdy and useful phones. But they were too bureaucratic, and they were too stubborn to keep up with changing trends. Okay? They want to stick to their guns. Ayaw nilang maniwala that the landscape is evolving. They were sure that hardware equals performance. Okay? They were wrong. Software and apps came into play, and that's when Apple, BlackBerry, and Samsung and other brands started taking over the market. So guys, you don't always have to be right, but you always have to make sure you're learning. So practice intellectual humility. Okay? Next slide, Tim. This is my last tip. Go ahead. All right. Simple word. Very simple. Discipline. I mentioned kanina that individuals with strong work ethic have values based on discipline and hard work, and that they are intrinsically and internally motivated. Pero again, real talk. It is impossible to stay 100% motivated all the time because things will go wrong. No? You will have bad days, and your failures, even if you learn from them and you take something out of them, can still upset you. Diba? But if you maintain discipline, you can still deliver the things that you need to deliver, at least at bare minimum. So, hindi ka magre-regress every time something bad happens. So, imagine, sa career mo, you're climbing several flights of stairs. And you don't want to fall down one whole flight of stairs when something bad goes wrong. Okay? Discipline helps you maintain your position and progress. The progress that you've made so far while you rest and recuperate before you start climbing again. Diba? Pag nadulas ka, kapit ka sa railing, disiplina ka eh. Hindi ka malalaglag pa ba? Mas makakapahinga ka bago ka ulit umakyat kaysa, diba, hayaan mo yung sarili mong madulas sa hagdan, tapos saktan ka, tapos kailangan pang umakyat ulit. Right? So discipline will help you prevent regression. Okay? And discipline can come in a lot of ways. But you have to develop that yourself. No one else will give that to you. Ayan. And that, guys, is my final tip for you to be able to develop a strong work ethic. I want to end my topic with a quote. Next slide, then. Oh, all right. So talent is a gift. Gift yan. Some people are talented in music, in math, in other areas, in art. Diba? But your attitude, your work ethic, and your character, you have to develop that yourself. And the world doesn't owe you a good work ethic. You owe that to yourself. So develop it and maintain it. And that's about it for my talk. I hope my tips help. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Pao. Sir, while our audience is coming up with their questions, I prepared a couple for you po.
Sure.
So, first question, sir. For young people, what's like the hardest attitude or quality to work on or to develop? What takes
Hmm.
time for us?
All right. Well, for me, out of everything, no, it's the fear of failure, right? Kasi when you're at school, no, when you have failing grades, what do you get sa bahay? You usually get, you usually get, you hear something from your parents, but you get consequences. Now in work, ganun din naman. But since, you've been through school for X number of years in your life, may instill yung fear of failure sa inyo. And it's really hard to wiggle out of. Especially when you want to impress, diba? You want to climb the ladder quickly. But you really have to take the good and the bad. You know, there is a lot of lessons to be learned from failures, even more than successes. So, ayan. I hope that makes sense.
All right, thank you for that, sir. Sir, next question. What would you say to someone who has very parang ano sir, hindi maganda yung time management skills niya, ayan sir. Kasi I think
Okay.
we are, as a generation, we are very guilty of procrastinating, mga ganyan sir. So what can you do to
Correct.
help us, what can we do to help ourselves be more disciplined in terms of managing our time?
Mhm. So I used to follow a rule, and I work with a lot of Australians kasi in my job, and a lot of Australians actually follow this rule too. It's the 8 hour rule. So your day will have 8 hours in it. You spend 8 hours for sleep, 8 hours of work, and 8 hours personal time mo yan. And during your personal time, you can choose to what? You can choose to watch movies. You can choose to scroll through social media, or you can choose to sharpen your craft. Yung 8 hours mo sa work should just be spent sa work. Um, I guess, ano ba? Hmm. For me kasi, in terms of maintaining discipline and time management, what worked well for me, I'm not sure if you've heard, there's such a thing called the Eisenhower matrix. So you prioritize based on the urgency and the importance, right? The urgent and the important stuff, yun yung una mong gagawin. Okay? Yung important pero hindi urgent, i-defer mo to a later time. Okay? Yung urgent but not important, if in the context of work, you'll find someone else do it, or you're gonna try to delegate the work. Or sa bahay, utusan mo yung kapatid mo, di ba? Yung hindi important and hindi naman urgent, you drop it, di ba? Up until it moves to one of those boxes. Um, Also, it helps, at least for me personally, to keep a list of the things that I need to do. There are, syempre, may mga requirements sa trabaho nyo, di ba? May mga kailangan kayong gawin. Parang chores lang yan sa bahay. You keep a list and you keep a schedule. Um, Napaka visual ko kasing tao. So for me, what works is seeing how I'm progressing through my tasks within the day. And knowing where I allocate my time, kung saan siya nauubos, so I can move things around. So, ayun. So Eisenhower matrix, and keep a list and keep track of where you're allocating your time, your energy, and your focus.
All right, so thank you for that, sir. All right, guys, do you have questions? Do you have clarifications for Sir Pao? All right, sir. Can we ask if Stellar is accepting senior high school students or graduates as applicants for their positions, or are there positions that can accommodate them po?
Yes, we do. As long as they're over 18, of course, of legal age. We have several positions in Stellar. So just send it to recruitment namin and they'll process it for us.
All right, so thank you for that, sir. I think wala na po akong tanong. All
Mhm.
right, guys, if you have no more questions for Sir Paulo, again, thank you, sir, for being with us this morning. If you want to
My
check
pleasure.
out their vacancies, it's at jobsready.com/stellarxm. So it's the one that's flashing dun sa ilalim natin. All right? So kung meron kayong tanong at ayaw nyong i-comment, you can still send it to us. We will try our best to address it. Pwede sa messenger. Okay lang. Alright? So thank you, Sir Pao. Have a great day po. Hope to see you
Welcome, you
again in
too.
the Thank you, sir. Alright. So we are done with our topics for today. Again, thank you so much, guys, for being with us this morning. So may we invite Miss Anne Marie Bennett at the Flin Sadora, MAGC RPM, to officially close our session for this morning. Hi, Miss Bennett. Nakamute po lang kayo, ma'am. Nakamute lang kayo, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes po, yes po.
Okay. Ma'am, I think we still have one pending question na naiwan dun sa comment box natin. I think
Ay, sorry,
baka
ma'am.
since nandiyan pa si Sir, we could check baka ma-answer
Alright.
pa niya.
I read it, mama. Can you suggest ways, tips on how our senior high school graduates handle their ideals towards work, between practicality and idealism to work, which one must matter? So this might extend assistance to our students who are still clueless of their possible career programs. All right. Let me check if Sir Paulos is still in our stream. But in case, ma'am, I will be the one to answer this question. Sorry,
Sige.
hindi ko po napansin kanina. Alright. So, Sir JC, sorry, wala daw po sila. Nakaalis na po sila sa stream. Alright. So, Sir JC, I'm sorry. I missed the question, but I will try to answer this. Can you suggest ways, tips on how senior high school graduates handle towards work? So, this is a very good question. Sayang, hindi natin nabasa kanina. So, practicality versus idealism. So, I think, as Sir Paulo mentioned earlier, there should be like a right balance for it. Meron po tayong sinabi dun sa first speaker natin, ano ba yung mga non-negotiables mo? So, dapat dito yung i-take into consideration yung location, or will it matter to you yung salary grade, or will it matter to you yung ginagawa ng position na yon, yung job description na yon, will it matter to you kung sino yung boss mo or kung ano ugali ng boss mo, will it matter to you kung ano yung culture dun sa company na yon. So, yun yung mga things na tinatawag natin na non-negotiables. So, as an applicant, these are the things that you have to be prepared for. So, ito yung tinatawag natin na practicality. So, dito papasok yung ano ba yung mga bagay na ayaw mong mawala, or yung mga kailangan mo talaga para sa work na to, para sa position na to. And idealism, syempre, of course, lahat tayo, meron tayong dream or meron tayong goal, right? So, ano pa yung idealism natin? So, kunyari fresh grad ako, gusto ko magandang office. Gusto ko malaking sweldo. Gusto ko mataas na position, for example. So, yun, hindi talaga natin siya mamamatch. So, kung gusto mo yung mga bagay na yun, yung idealism mo, tapos yung practicality mo, hindi siya magsaswak, hindi siya magmamatch, hindi natin makukuha yung level of balance, or hindi natin makukuha yung tamang appropriate or apt na position for us. So for me, there has to be a balance between practicality and idealism. Of course, wag natin bibitawan yung idealism, because idealism to work, yun yung pinanghahawakan natin as fresh grad. Compared to people who have been in the industry for years, as fresh grad, ito yung panlaban natin. May idealist tayo, madami tayong gustong marating, marami tayong goals na gustong i-achieve. So kailangan magbabalanse siya. Okay? So, Sir JC, did that answer your question? I'm really, really sorry. I missed it. Next one, we have another question. Your perception po, if which has the better opportunity with working after senior high school or going through college? If you're gonna ask me, if my honest response, yung honest opinion ko dito is that if you have uh, an opportunity to go to college immediately, then that's a good decision. That's a good track for you. Kung meron kang opportunity. Okay? Kung wala, if there are other things that are asking you, there are obligations that's asking you to work after senior high school, that's also fine. Kaya nga yung curriculum natin, nagkaroon tayo ng senior high school. This is to prepare for employment for those people na hindi pa siya makapag-college immediately. Okay, but if you're going to ask me, if you have the opportunity to go to college immediately after graduating from senior high school, that's the good option for me. Yun yung sasabihin kong mas magandang opportunity. Alright? So, hindi naman natin sinasabi na porket nagtrabaho ka after senior high school, hindi na equal yung opportunity mo with those na dumiretso ng college. Hindi ganon. So, meron ka pa rin maiaambag. Mas malaki pa din yung maiaambag mo dahil nanggaling ka na sa workforce or meron ka ng experience sa labor market. So, yon ay maaambag mo pa rin pag pumasok ka ng college. Okay? So, hindi yon magiging parang loss or hindi ka left behind. on your case. Okay? So, ayun. So, yeah. So, let's go back to Miss Bennett to address or to give the closing remarks for everybody. Sorry, Miss Bennett, I didn't see the last two questions.
It's okay, ma'am. Okay, so thank you very much, Ma'am Shari. So good morning, everyone, and once again, and good morning, Angelites. Okay, first of all, I would like to thank Sir Kim Chua and the team from Jobs 180, our forever partner during this season, for helping our senior high graduating students. Thank you for the unending support despite of the now normal situation that we are facing. Still, you continue to give us and share your services to us. Of course, we would like to thank our principal, Ms. Isabel Gamboa, for the support, Ms. Supan, and all the coordinators, and of course, our dear teachers. Thank you for the assistance. To our dear students, this is just a beginning since you are about to face a new chapter of your life. That is why, with this kind of activity, we are helping you to be more prepared as you will experience more adventures and more challenges as we prepare you, our dear students, to become a successful professional someday. We'll see you again soon for more activity in store for you. Again, thank you, Jobs 180 and Laos Deo Semper.
Thank you, Miss Bennett. All right, guys. So there is an announcement on our comment section. There is a post-evaluation form that you have to answer. Please check it on the comment. Yeah, it's flashed on our screen. So please make sure to finish that evaluation for this event. All right. So with that, we thank you again, guys, for being with us this morning. So please watch out for the next webinars that we are hosting for Central Mindanao University. We have another for Cebu Normal University. We have one for Arellano University. So you can check our Facebook pages for the topics that will be discussed and pwede rin kayong join kung interested kayo sa mga sessions na yun. Okay? So, see you po. Maraming salamat sa uulitin po at magandang umaga. Stay safe. Bye, guys!